Welcome back to the Spill It Brodie podcast. I am your host, Daniel, joined with my co-host, Kevin.
What's going on, yo?
Bunch of news happening in sports, as always. Kevin, I'll let you take the reins from here.
It is a packed June 1st. We got basketball news. We have a ton of football trade news. So we're going to start off with this amazing Game 7 that we were blessed with, Daniel.
Yes.
And when I say blessed, I mean blessed.
100%.
Let's start off. Let me give you some. Do you mind if I throw some stats at you?
Go ahead. Throw some stats.
So, for a Game 7 against the defending champs, I saw this today.
Okay.
You know what the record is for the opposing team against the defending champs going on into Game 7 before this last Game 7 that happened against the Spurs versus Thunder?
Can you tell me the total number?
There have been 9 games.
9 games? Okay. So I'm going to say one.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh,
it's
wow.
0-9.
Oh, I didn't want to say 0-9. Wow.
The defending champs have swept the Game 7s because it's expected. Game 7 is supposed to go. You're supposed to have that advantage. That's the reason that you have it at home most of the times. That's the reason why most of those. But these guys have been in this. You built that DNA. The other team is still learning to build that DNA.
100%.
Well, it was that stat until
it was broken.
The Spurs came through.
Well deserved.
On Saturday. So let's start off. What do you think about the Spurs team? Because it was very much a team win. You had 6 Spurs players in double digits. Mm-hmm. So what do you feel about the overall performance by the Spurs that game?
Only Spurs, correct?
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much to talk about the OKC play.
Oh, there's plenty to talk about them. 100%.
Well, we can get negative in a second.
Okay. For Spurs, first of all, I think they perfectly executed the game plan they needed to, which was get Wemby going. As soon as they got Wemby going, everybody gets going. Everybody in the rotation gets touches. The player I'm like almost 100% surprised the most is Julian Champagnie. He's been kind of struggling throughout the beginning, and the last 2 games he's really outshined in his role. Yesterday was the best, or not yesterday. Game 7 was the best time for him to do it.
You were on his ass last pod.
I don't even want to release that one because how bad I was on him. But he really proved me wrong in the way he was playing. He was taking those timely threes. It felt like he wasn't chucking them up. He was waiting for those perfect moments for Wemby or Stephon Castle to make the plays for him. De'Aaron Fox is a perfect number 2 to Wemby. The way he gets players open, the way he attracts attention, I think you can't have anybody better in that position but the De'Aaron Fox. A De'Aaron Fox who's been struggling to score offensively, but still garnering the attraction from other players. Like
he hit some big shots.
Game 7, he was phenomenal, scoring the bucket. Yes, maybe his rebounds and assists didn't look as sexy as they did before, but that was the whole game plan going through. I give that team 100% credit on how they played that game. I think they did no wrong.
The Spurs needed every bucket out of him.
Oh, 100%.
I felt like De'Aaron is the perfect vet. I wouldn't go as far as he's the perfect complement number 2 to Wemby, but I do think he's the perfect vet for Wemby in that scenario. He wasn't scared of the moment. I told you, this guy had that dog experience with Curry and against Curry in that Game 7 with Sacramento against the Warriors. That team that really put. Because that was the Golden State Warriors, I think, that won the championship that year. And Sacramento took him to 7. So it's like he's experienced that heartbreak in the playoffs and that experience in general. And I feel like he really stepped up. But I think the guards played phenomenal.
Stephon Castle?
You had dogs playing defense. You had dogs in the mentality to hit big shots. You had rookies playing out of their mind in Dylan Harper in terms of what rookie is hitting that tween on the 2-time MVP, by the way.
Yeah.
And making that shot. No fear. They had 0 fear. And when you say Wemby got going, I don't even mean Wemby had 40 and 12.
Oh,
right?
No.
He finished with 22 and maybe, I think, 12 rebounds. This guy got involved, though. He was all over the place.
Defensively, offensively, he sucked the soul out of OKC. Pause. Like he did previous games when they won. That was supposed to be their game plan the whole series. but sometimes you saw Wemby kind of shy away from it, let the other players do more and stuff like that. The one I want to give credit to a lot too is Stephon Castle. You mentioned the guards. Defensively, Stephon Castle was amazing. Kevin, are you trusting your guard to go back into the game with 5 fouls? And you're guarding the MVP of the league, who you, by Kevin standards, is a flopper?
No, the best whistle baiter of all time.
Oh, now you're calling on whistle baiter.
Yeah.
You were calling on flopper the last pod.
That's too respectful at that point. I think that was too respectful.
No, a flopper I think is worse than a whistle baiter.
We're going to get to OKC. We're going to get to OKC in a second because that whole team is a bunch of...
Yeah, but trusting your guard in that moment to not get baited into, I think it was 4 or 5 fouls.
I think Stephon had 4 at some point. Wemby had 5. And they had to play, and Luke Cornett had
4.
that
Okay, we'll say 4.
Yeah.
We'll say 4. And not to accumulate 2 more fouls going, I think it was mid-third, I think. Like,
the maturity, I'm telling you.
The maturity, not just in the player, but also the coach, to let him go through that moment. Because he could have easily got 2 more fouls by Shea, and it could have looked a different way. The same thing with Wemby. The maturity on Wemby to go out there and not let the driving forces get to him and do a ticky-tack foul. His 5th foul was a ticky-tack foul. He went in there like unknowing, and he just kind of hit somebody. It wasn't the best. But being able to hold your hands and not get that extra foul, putting your team in a dangerous position of losing that game because there's still 4 minutes left, I think, in the game. Amazing. I mean, I can't give any more credit to that team. That team really wants it. The best team won it, and the hungrier team won it.
Yeah, I think Mitch Johnson can sometimes drive me a little crazy when it comes to like these runs, letting them play out. But it has given them, these young guards, I think, that experience where it's like they feel like, okay, hey, this will eventually stop. OKC will eventually miss, and then we'll get back into the game. We'll be able to settle ourselves down. But I think that's where a big part of De'Aaron's game came in, where it's like he was able to settle down the younger guys and keep them in check because he was like an extension of Mitch Johnson on the court. I
like that.
I feel like he definitely could have challenged a good amount of like game-changing calls where it's like we're against the Knicks, we should probably not just go home with those challenges, you know? But at the end of the day, I think it was, like I said, I think it was a really good series.
Remember, the challenges also hurt you if you fail those challenges.
I know. But
You're
it's
losing
just
a
like,
timeout.
it's one of those, it's game 7, you got to lay it all out, you know, at that point when it was getting really close. At one point, you saw OKC take the lead. Like I said, it was great.
Yeah.
I think everyone played a part in that win in terms of all that Spurs, like, staff and everything. So kudos to the Spurs. I'm not here to, like I said, it's like we can always be better because at the end of the day, you have to get ready for a very good team in terms of the Knicks upcoming.
I agree. I think the Knicks, I'm going to be honest, I think the Knicks are one of the best teams to match up with the Spurs. You look at their cast of role players, the Mikal Bridges, the OG Anunoby, the Jose Alvarado, the Josh Hart. They kind of match up well with the role players of the Spurs. And I might say that the role players of the Knicks are better than the Spurs role players. I would take a Mikal and OG combo over a Dylan Harper, maybe Stephon Castle. Like, those are bigger wings, bigger, more veteran players. Maybe not in the finals, but at the same time, both teams are new to this. And I don't know. I kind of last
like
pod.
You want to take the Knicks.
Last pod, I was really saying Spurs are gonna beat any team that's there. The Knicks are gonna lose. But looking at the lineup and looking at how they match up on paper, it looks like a very good matchup. I hope it goes Game 7.
Give me Spurs in 6. With all the confidence in the world. Spurs in 6. I think they take 2 at home pretty easily, and they steal 1 on the road in Madison Square Garden. But
even if the Knicks take 2 at their home,
I don't think I can't see the Spurs losing back-to-back games. Respectfully,
didn't they lose back-to-back to OKC?
not against.
They did.
They lost. No, they lost Game 3.
They won Game 1, lost Game 2, lost Game 3.
Yeah. But
so they lost back-to-back.
Not against the Knicks, bro. Knicks ain't OKC. The Knicks don't got that whistle, you know. They don't
For
got
a
that whistle
basketball
privilege.
lover, I want to see Game 7, Jalen Brunson versus Wemby.
We'll definitely get to the Knicks, especially while we're getting closer to this Game 1 preview. Like, we'll get into like a whole segment for that. But let's talk about the other side of Game 7. Obviously, there's winners and losers. That's just how the cookie crumbles. We have the OKC Thunder, and now let's be real. For anyone outside of Oklahoma City, it was a national hate watch. No one wanted to see OKC win. We wanted to see a good game, and maybe something where like it got a little bit out of hand, where the Spurs were just going to run away with this so everyone can breathe a little bit easier. But let's be real. We wanted to see Spurs versus Knicks. That was the dream matchup at the end of the day. We had 6 great games of OKC versus the Spurs, but no one wanted to see OKC get to the next one and actually win it unless you're an OKC fan. So going back to that, now that they've lost Game 7, what do they do with their team now? Because they aren't unbeatable anymore. Like, you know, this is a team that is beatable, and the Spurs just showed you the formula. The Lakers showed you how to kind of contain Shea, and then it goes into like trusting your role players to win you Game 7 at the end of the day. Even though Shea did step up, but at the end of the day, you had some people lay an egg.
I think Shea had a phenomenal Game 7. He put the team on his back. That game, you had glimpses, not even glimpses. I say most of the games, Shea had that look in his eye that he had previous years of pure bucket getter. And it was like, I was obviously rooting for the Spurs, but it was amazing to watch Shea go and get those buckets. He was making timely shots that were like insane, contested, and he was getting them done.
That run he had in the second quarter, I think. Was it the second or the third?
I think it was a second.
It was the second quarter because he could not miss.
He could not miss.
That's when they caught up.
He was dealing out these hands, bro, that were just cooking the Spurs. And I wasn't hate watching at that point anymore because I was like, damn, get your buckets, man. This is a game I was asking for from Shea, and he kind of delivered. But the sad part about it is that number 2, his Batman, his Robin, just shot blanks. He didn't want to perform.
He didn't shoot. Chet did not shoot, if that's who you're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about his Robin. Yeah. Well, you think I was talking about Alex Caruso? When you look at the field goal attempts, it's Alex Caruso, Jared McCain, AJ Mitchell.
That was ridiculous. That was such a shutdown from someone that just made an All-NBA third team. Like, we're talking about someone that shot. What did he shoot? Twice?
I think he shot twice.
He had, what, 4 points? I think we can literally leave it there for him. Like, it's just like, what do you do with Chet? What do you do with Jalen Durant? What do you do with these guys that just shut down and don't have that emotional toughness that when they're challenged, provoked, they don't, like, you know, sometimes you just need to get back, though.
Again, I was rooting for the Spurs, but looking at Chet, the way he played, and the fact that when he grabbed the ball, the biggest one is the wide open 3 on the wing, and he looks like he's going to shoot it. He pump fakes, and he drives in when he had plenty of time to shoot that 3. Man, oh man, oh man.
And then he slipped and fell.
Was that the play he slipped and fell? That play ended up becoming 3 points. Got the
ball back. He goes at Wemby. Wemby was ready for him right there, looking for all the smoke.
I think he passes it, and then someone gets a 3 because that play ended in 3 points. But that
might be a different one, yeah.
But the fact that every time he grabbed the ball and he would contain the ball for the rest of the shot clock and then chuck it to one of his role players at an Alex Caruso. If you look at Alex Caruso's shot, I think 2 for 12 or something like that from 3.
3 for 14.
3 for 14. The amount of times those shots were late shot clocks is outstanding. The fact that he, every time he looked at the rim, he looked away so fast. He didn't even want to gaze at it too long. Chet should not be doing that. We've seen him throughout the regular season be an impactful NBA player. He's all NBA for Christ's sake. But this is the performance you give us in a Game 7? I'm now an OKC fan. If I was, I would want you off the squad. But, again, I'm not an OKC fan.
That's your
and
number
I forgive.
2 pick. That's your number 2 pick in the draft.
If my number 2 pick only looked at the rim 5,000 times and only shot twice, there's a big issue in that. While you're in the late game, your star, your Batman is tired, physically tired, and you see him chucking up these shots and trying to drag your corpse back, and the fact that you're just standing there. There was another play. I think Shea was at the top of the key. Chet was in the corner, and Wemby sags off so much that he's gonna play complete defense on Shea to help. What Kevin, basketball mind, you're in the corner, your defense comes forward. What do you do when you're in the corner?
Either back cut or stay right there and ask for the ball.
Boy doesn't back cut. As soon as Shea kind of moves with it, he runs in for the rebound when he already is contested. Doesn't even give Shea the opportunity to look back and pass it to him.
There was no bailout option for Shea this game.
He declines every offensive play that comes towards him. And to me, that's just selfish basketball. At the end of the day, that's selfish. You did not want to help your team improve and move on.
It's so unselfish.
No, not unselfish, selfish.
He's trying to play an
unselfish
game because of, hey, some people just aren't built for the moment. We've seen players just like play so passive, and maybe it's that nonchalant culture that they built where it's like anyone can get theirs. Anyone. They don't have someone other than Shea that's like, I need mine. Or maybe Jerry McCain. Like, they're going to get theirs regardless. Like, they don't have that guy on there that cares so deeply where it's like, no matter what happens today, I went out shooting. Like, I went out and tried.
Yeah, like I busted for 5 for 15. Okay, buddy. 5 for 15. It didn't go my way. My hand wasn't hot, but at least you show that you tried.
Gave some. You gave a little something.
He
you
gave
didn't
nothing.
Show that you were scared.
Defensively, he didn't even do anything either. I'm not even gonna give him a passing grade on defense either. I think the moment that Wemby went in, I think it was in the second quarter. Wemby goes in for that cut and dunks on him, posterizes him.
That was the first quarter.
Was that the first?
That was almost like the first bucket I think Wemby got.
I think that was the second, to be honest.
No, he dunks on him almost immediately. He sets the tone. It shuts Chet down for the rest of the game.
I think
it happens
if it's the first,
really early.
If it's the first, after that, I think that's when his attitude just changes.
Yeah. I mean, I would too. Low-key French man in my face.
Just meat on meat in your face.
It's just like, it's just,
I mean,
it's a French cuisine at that point. He got a French cuisine to the face.
Bro, and I can't agree with you more about the things you were saying last episode about how many times I'm going to hear about it. It's just disheartening.
What gets me is that you're a number 2. This is the easiest place in sports is to be a number 2. Because look there's so many players that benefit from, you don't have to be the best at your position. You don't have to be the best at a certain thing. You just have to be really good at what you do. Really, really good. Klay Thompson is one of the greatest number 2s because he's for his backcourt. He understands in this moment, when I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it. Even if I'm off, I'm going to shoot that thing. Like there is no like the game 6 Klay happens because of that. Chet had been getting buckets the entire playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs he was getting
13. He was averaging 17 and 13.
But why this series he chooses to shoot
this series,
shut down?
At least like give us something where you're shooting. Like if you were shooting a tour date, I'd understand why you wanted to be a little bit more passive. You didn't even give yourself the chance to go ahead and do that. And same thing with like players like
didn't even give himself a chance to fail.
That's what I'm saying. And maybe like it's how these kids are kind of growing up where it's like, hey, I think it'll look worse if I start shooting and I start missing and it's like worse on my own psyche. Like I don't know. Like it's just a soft way to play.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just the culture set in OKC right now that they need a quick turnaround. Bring Giannis around.
Yeah, I would trade him. I wouldn't trade him.
But we can go ahead. You trying to cut him earlier, not trade him. But like I would say definitely Sam Presti, if Milwaukee is on the phone.
A Giannis trade, huh?
I would be insane. But that's a discussion for another day so we can keep track.
Nah.
But
that's a discussion for right now. Giannis and Shea?
That would be, like I said, we need to, that's a whole separate, that's a whole separate episode right there.
That was nice.
All right. So give me your preview for game 1, Knicks Spurs. It happens in 2 days for us now.
Happens in 2 days.
What are you thinking? Game 1, San Antonio. They're in
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
They're riding the wave. All right, listen to me here. Let me paint this picture. They're riding this hot wave coming from OKC. We just won the Western Conference Finals. Wemby's hotter than ever. De'Aaron Fox is through the moon. Stephon Castle's the best defender guard we've seen this series. Boom, they run into a brick wall. Big purr. Kitty cat.
I can't take you
Me
serious.
neither. I think game one goes to Spurs convincingly.
Okay, I think that's a
100%.
hot take.
No.
No, it's not.
I
I
don't
mean, I
think
think
there's
they're
a
favorited, but I think like the
no
Knicks have been playing.
convincingly. I
I
think they
know
win by 20.
the Knicks have been playing the best basketball technically ever seen in the
Remember, they
postseason.
also had like
So much rest.
14 days of rest or something like that.
So you think the Spurs do what the Cavs did, but they sustained their lead?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Sorry to push on any Cavs fans' wounds.
No, let's
you know.
push on them even harder.
No, but yeah.
They sustain the lead, they win, but I think game two, the Knicks have a better chance of looking at the game plan that they have, seeing the opponents they have, and being like, yes, we can set a plan.
I think game two becomes like, if everyone's healthy, we kind of look into that and we can preview that after game one, just because I don't want to look too far ahead. Because anything can happen game one in terms of injuries. Dylan is still coming, but I think with Dylan healthy, coming back the way he did in game seven, they literally caught him on the hot mic saying, oh yeah, we need our get back, because they lost. Remember I mentioned that cup final for the NBA Cup, because it almost felt like the Spurs celebrated so much for the NBA Cup when they beat OKC that they kind of forgot, oh wait, we have to play the Knicks after this. And they lost. And I think they lost pretty convincingly that game too. So I did want to ask you one other question. I also have the Spurs winning game one. I want to say it's a close game until the late third. Spurs kind of pull away a bit. They Knicks make a little bit of a run, get it between 7 to 10. Still pretty, like I said, it's going to be a good series, but keep it I don't necessarily predict a blowout in that. But what I do want to say,
is 20 points a blowout?
I would say it's a blowout.
Yeah,
I would consider that.
I don't
think any spread is like 20 points. Yeah, that's a
no.
2x
I know.
Yeah, so
but
I would
just
consider that a
NBA.
playout.
I feel like that's not a blowout.
With threes and things of that nature, it can I just think it becomes the narrative of the game. You got to just watch the game. I did want to ask, with all the celebration that happened, Wemby crying, how emotional that team was, do you feel like the Spurs celebrated a little bit too hard after beating OKC?
No, I think that's the best thing that they
How would you feel as a Knicks player watching that? Where it's almost like, damn, they didn't win the finals. Why are we reacting like you just won the Western Conference?
I don't know if you remember, but Wemby had a blood clot thing in his, like a disease that could have probably ended his career. So I would be pretty emotional if the year before my career could have been at jeopardy, and then the next year I'm going to the NBA Finals. And look, yes, they didn't win the finals, but they're on the way to the finals where they have a big chance of winning. I love the emotion that the Spurs show. Like, they want it, and that's what I want to see. I want to see teams want it like that. And if you're not going to cry or show that emotion, I mean, good for you. But I resonate to the players who show that passion. And if they're showing that passion, I'm going to ride with you. You feel me? Like, if I saw the Knicks doing that a little harder, I think I would be torn on who to go with, because I love that Jalen Brunson story of like everybody doubting him. He's too short. He's not a pick. Yeah, he's not a 1A, he's a 1B or something like that. I mean, I want to go for that. Robin. Yeah, Luke. I mean, that was kind of short-lived, but yeah. I want to see the most like passionate team win, and I think the Spurs showed it with that celebration and crying and that emotion they showed.
I 100% agree. I was only asking the question just because at the end of the day,
because you secretly disagreed with me.
No, the Knicks are gonna see it however they want. The Knicks at the end of the day had the easier road to get to the finals. Let's be real. They beat the Cavs.
You think they're soft now?
Let's say they beat the Cavs. They avoided Detroit, and at that point, who knows how much of a fight Detroit would have put up? But they avoid the number one technical seed of the East. And that's, it was that Detroit team, so how really good were they? Boston got eliminated early. They swept Philly. And Philly, like I said, was dealing with its own injuries and emotional exhaustion after their series. Yep. So it's like, and like I said, the most diversity they faced was being down 20 in the third, going into the fourth against a Cavs team that kind of just mailed it in and then gave them, literally handed them a win by not changing up any game plan, calling timeout. So, like I said,
gave them a win by letting James Harden play.
Not going that far. But like I said, when it comes to that emotion and that passion, bro, the Spurs went through Their first series, concussion with Wemby, concussion scare. You had that he was banged up going into the playoffs because he came back. You had Minnesota, dogs, man. Minnesota's full of people that were playing him physical as hell. Those are 6 hard-fought games. Then you get the defending champs, 7 hard-ass games where any game emotionally could take so much from you, and then you win. That's your finals right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Like, at the end of the day, that's how I would feel relieved at that point.
Job's not done.
Job's not done, but that's where you see that emotion pour out.
I give him.
I don't think it has anything to do with the Knicks at that point. I don't think they're thinking, "Oh, this is easy now." It's just really the emotion of
going to
that tough ass series. And I think the Knicks would have had the same reaction if they went 7 tough games and it came down to the fourth quarter of their game 7. So, with that being said, we can go ahead, transition into, unless you want to talk any more basketball that you can think of. I think we can transition to our next segment, which is football. And so we'll see you in the next segment. Welcome back to part 2 of the pod episode. Now we have NFL. And I know it's early. I know it's like, Kev, you the NFL guy. You just want to talk about NFL. It's basketball season. We got the finals into it. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to
about
hear
football.
It. I don't want to hear it.
During baseball season.
Bro, I know we're not talking about the Dodgers right now. Losing right now to Arizona. But listen. It's June 1st. Trades happen. And some massive trades. This is going to shape up the league next year. Guys, when I say this like, what happened today is going to change the trajectory of different teams going into next season. It's going to make the NFL so exciting. This is what I love about the NFL. These players can really make a difference because it's an off-season trade.
100%.
With basketball, you kind of have to, it's a hit or miss when people get traded in the deadline, stuff like that. It's like really role players. We just saw 2 superstars. One superstar. No, we saw 2 superstars.
One superstar.
We saw one diva superstar and then one awesome superstar get traded.
We saw one all-star, one superstar.
All right, stop it, bro.
I'm not.
All right, let's talk about your supposed all-star, a superstar, a superstar from like wide receiver.
Yep.
Philadelphia has officially, we kind of saw this coming, but has officially announced a trade for AJ Brown to New England. So the New England gets a brand new number 1 receiver for Drake May and that squad. And Philly receives a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. So they trade AJ for 2 picks, no players. How do we feel? How do we feel this affects New England? And then how do we feel about Philly?
First off, I think New England, they got rid of Stephon Diggs, correct?
They have not re-signed Stephon Diggs, yes.
I think that just depends on what happens with Stephon. I think if Stephon's off the squad, I think that's better for AJ Brown. He was already having trouble in the Eagles getting those number 1 plays. He's crying, complaining about, I need the rock. If Stephon's there.
You really don't like AJ.
Oh, hell no. AJ is not my guy. I mean, at the end of the day, once he plays for the Patriots, he's a whole different player. He's in a new, different situation. So hopefully he can elevate that Drake May status and help him get to that promised place. But I think it honestly depends on Stephon Diggs and where he ends up going. If he ends up staying, I think you're just having that part 2 in Philadelphia again.
I'm gonna give you a boring answer to that. It really depends on the scheme and how they use him. Like, it's really gonna depend on Drake May's maturity with him. Am I gonna go into a game? First couple plays, I have to see a bomb go to AJ Brown on every drive. Do we need to see him go a deep route, this and this? I understand he's gonna get his targets, but is this gonna set back Drake May a bit where his stats look good? But we've seen players where Josh Allen, things like that, where he feels the need to force the ball to an X receiver. And, sometimes that's not the best thing for a young developmental player, but this guy went to the Super Bowl. So if a team's going to make it work, I know Mike Vrabel right now has the coaching cheating scandal, his personal life, whatever that case is. If he can rally the troops and get that ready to go, then I think this trade is great for the organization.
If he's cheating off the field, brother, he's going to be cheating on the field.
No, it's Patriots culture at that point.
This is Patriots culture.
All right. Let's get to the biggest trade I think
We've
I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I think this one.
And keep in
this
mind-
one literally is a land like.
Keep in mind, y'all, I'm a Ravens fan through and through. So I've seen this guy. I have seen this guy.
The hell? What do you do with that pillow?
All right, buddy. I have seen this guy terrorize our division. No matter how, thank God he hasn't had a quarterback. Thank God he hasn't had a good offense, because this guy,
Thank God he was just stuck.
generational. He's a generational talent, generational player. I'm
101.
like saying it like I'm welcoming him into the pod, but and welcome.
I
in.
know, and welcome in.
But yeah. So we saw Myles Garrett get traded to the Los Angeles Rams for this haul. We have a 2027 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, a 2029 third round pick, and an up and coming young stud in Jared Verse.
Yep.
So Jared Verse is the most interesting part. I'm going to take point on this one just because I've seen Jared Verse, like, I think live with my dad watching a game. This guy pops out the screen. Like, this guy just pops out, and he is someone to focus on, especially in this last playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, just he was the pass rush for the Rams. He's the one commanding the double teams. He's the one run stopping. Jared Verse is a dog. That is not something light to take into this trade. I know some people feel the Browns got fleeced because they didn't get 3 first round picks, this and this and this. But they got a player that's worth, I think, at least 1 first round pick in Jared Verse.
100%.
And he's a lot more inexpensive, but you
Younger.
also can build that Browns team. I think the biggest winner in this trade, though, is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett gets to
100%.
He got, at the time, requested trade, right? Out of Cleveland. Doesn't want to go from Canton, or doesn't want to go from Ohio to Canton in terms of where they are. So he requests a trade, rescinds that trade request, gets the highest paid non-quarterback contract. I think he got 4 years, $160 million contract extension. And now he gets traded to a team that just lost in the NFC Divisional Championship game. What are we talking about right now?
I mean,
so what do you see him doing with the Rams?
making that team the team to beat, unstoppable. That team is. I think
I wouldn't
why
say unstoppable.
Almost, bro. Their offense was really good last year.
You see the Ravens?
I hate you, bro. I hate you. Their offense was really good last year, and their defense was also good. And you're adding on Myles Garrett, bro. That team's gonna be scary. Now, let me ask you this: why was the trade? Why did they make that trade? Like, why?
The Rams, because they're greedy. The Rams
Is
are
it
greedy.
because they're greedy?
No, I think the Rams are flash. The Rams are not really about developing young talent. You know, they don't. And it's weird because we saw them draft a quarterback, but I guess it also shows that they're all in for what they have now, but also have a developmental quarterback just in case because they're not going to go ahead and sign someone, you know, like they're not going to go ahead and get that QB after Matt Stafford leaves. So hopefully, I think Ty Simpson is going to be the answer after, slowly but surely learning after a potential Hall of Famer. So I think the Rams right now are really just trying to go all in. You see Devontae Adams, Puka on that front end for the receivers. We saw them shopping. They were aggressive this offseason from what I'm hearing. The Rams are shopping Devontae, and that's not an easy
they were shopping Devontae.
They were shopping Devontae,
wow.
And that's reported too. That's not something that's light. Because it's not like they don't have love for Devontae, but it's just like at the end of the day, they are all in. You have Puka, who hopefully he comes back after
Raider legend
with his
Devontae.
rehab situation and stuff like that. But if the Rams are going to be, there's that curse though, because they are the Vegas favorites in the offseason to go to the Super Bowl. It's every team. It happened to me last year. It was one of those things that. Every team that for the last.
But let's be honest, your team is just always cursed. No matter how good you guys are, there's always
no
a
slander
way.
needed. No slander needed.
Okay. But I really do think the only thing that gets in the way of this team is just
injuries.
And if Myles Garrett can stay healthy,
people are saying too. How do you think Myles Garrett fits in a winning system versus an individual statistical one?
Because he was so hungry on the bro. There's only going up from here.
And that's what I would also argue the same thing. Now what happens when you're down, when you're in a passing obvious situation down against the Rams and you unleash Myles Garrett on your offensive line? I think it's going to be scary hours for that D-line.
Yep.
And so you better, whoever's facing the Rams, you better face them and punch them in the mouth first, because if you're playing from behind, that's a scary defensive line.
Yeah, that's a scary team. Damn,
Yeah.
you want to play Madden or something? I know who I got.
All right. And other news, because there is other news, we see, and let's have some respect, this is a Hall of Famer. This is someone that could have won back-to-back Super Bowls, was a big part in quarterbacking the Legion of Boom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
I was like,
he's
who's he
one of
talking
like
about?
he took on Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl and blew him out.
Whoa! What? What did he do to Peyton
Blew
Manning?
him out in
Alright,
the
for
Super Bowl.
sure.
I felt like I said that quick enough where it was like, it's football.
Nah, it hit me hard.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so Russell Wilson has decided to put the cleats up, but hasn't decided to fully retire. It's one of those, he's taking a break from his career where he's going to be a broadcaster. He's actually joining the CBS team. So congrats to Russ. It's just one of those things. It was a great career for what it was. And
You're saying he's retired?
I think at the end, I think he's going to be really good. He's very politically correct. I think he's going to kill it. It's like more of that Drew Brees. It kind of gives that, like, him on TV. I can see him doing well on television. So
he got the face.
And then once you get that bag from TV money, why get hit? Yeah. Why do you want to go back to getting hit every day?
Become a bench warmer and yeah. At the end of the day, call a spade a spade. He retired, and he's going to test his endeavors on the analyst team.
Yeah,
great career, like
Hall of Famer.
100%.
Okay.
100%. If anybody says he's not a Hall of Famer, then
had one of the prettiest deep balls. He had one of the prettiest deep balls, like one of those throwers.
100%.
Yeah.
Man.
He was one throw away from 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Some say he was just a runaway.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to, give him his props, just because obviously
we love you, Russell.
Hey,
I mean, no slander
I
here.
wouldn't say I love you, but
no.
Hey, congrats to Russ.
No,
I give him his props.
I love
no
Russell
quarterback
Wilson.
that's not Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, who's still in the league, by the way.
Shout out, Joe. Anyways, all right. I think. Do you have any? Do you have any other topics that you want to talk about before?
I think we. No, I mean, you have anything else?
I have one more.
Go ahead.
The main one that I wanted to get to, other than the main bulk of the trades, was a team that's making headlines for the most awkward, I'd say, awkward offseason. It's kind of left in the unknown.
Is it the Cardinals?
It is the New York Giants.
Oh.
What we got here is a team that has a brand new head coach. Head coach doesn't know what's going on with Dexter Lawrence, doesn't want to answer questions, and then we see Dexter Lawrence get traded. People aren't showing up to minicamp. Again, John Harbaugh is kind of avoiding questions, very politically correct, as I am very used to as a Ravens fan and dealing with John Harbaugh the last 18 years. But in terms of that, we also seen politics be involved with the Giants, and it's something that obviously the NFL has previously not been the biggest fan of. It's leave the politics at home. Unless I guess we're in the conservative era now. So we saw Jackson Dart recently bring out and announce Donald Trump at a rally. His star roommate, rookie roommate, number 3 overall pick from what I remember in his draft, Abdul Carter, called him out, saying basically on a Twitter post or on an X post now, basically reported, or not, basically called him out saying, hey, there's no way this is AI, and I'm paraphrasing, but there's no way this is an AI. What are we doing? Obviously Abdul has his personal beliefs and his own political views and didn't support necessarily that Jackson was out there with representing Donald Trump at that time. And then also Jackson, I believe, had one of those interesting comments where it's I don't believe our viewership is mainly liberal at that point. Like I said, if that is true at that point, it's a pretty ignorant comment being from New York, in a very liberal state or very liberal fan base at that point. The Giants team then signed, another weird concept is their situation with Malik Neighbors. No one knows what's going on. I'm hearing one thing, that his surgery is fine, then he gets a cleanup surgery, then he's at a celebrity softball game limping to first base. Then the Giants go ahead and sign today OBJ, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Barrios, all 3 wide receivers, all in one day. You kind of get the inkling that maybe Malik's injury, which he tore his ACL and meniscus back in September of last football season, was more serious, is still nagging more and more. Is he going to be ready to start the season? What do you make about the Giants offseason so far?
That's a lot. I'm not gonna touch on the first part, but the second part, the wide receiver portion. I mean, signing 3, obviously not the star size of a Malik Neighbors. Signing those 3, I think you're just trying to hold off the load a little bit. I don't think he's gonna start off the season. If those reports are true that he is limping to first base,
I saw the video of him. Yeah, it's a hard watch.
That's a hard reality to bite, and
he's really good. I'm not, like I said, it has nothing to do with Malik. I just don't know why the New York Giants are being so weird about, which, like I said, they're probably being secretive about the situation.
Oh yeah, you don't want to let,
because if he's not okay, that's gonna scare off some ticket holders,
Yeah, you don't want to let that out. Come on, man, it's New York. You don't have everybody get
Cam
scammed.
Scatterbo is doing backflips like now, so
oh
yeah.
Hey, and what did he hurt?
I think he completely snapped his ankle, from what I remember. So, there is some good news. I believe Cam, he doesn't believe in CTE. Okay.
He doesn't believe in CTE.
Yeah, this Giants team, I think that also happened this offseason. I don't know what's going on with this Giants team.
I do like a OBJ reunion with Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart and OBJ can get like a little 1-2 punch, get little money up from the Giant fans and everything. The old and the new. Other than that, though, he's not going to really make a big impact. I think OBJ is just kind of washed at this point. Juju's the same, I think.
I think Braxton. We know Braxton Berrios we know him more because he dated Alex Earl at one point. I think that's where we know him from. I'm pretty sure it's that same white guy. Yeah. So, yeah. I know he played for Miami.
But is this not surprising from the Giants? This feels like Giants antics every year, bro. Something always happens. They always do some weird things, bro. The Russell Wilson thing, why are we doing that when you have your Jackson Dart already? Like, those type of things, man. So,
I guess. They did have like 4 quarter. They had Russell, Jameis, Jackson. I think they also had someone
They had like
else.
6 quarterbacks. One of them ended up being a water boy. Like, why are we overreading into this? It's fine. It's Giants being Giants at the end of the day.
I think it's interesting because there wasn't a weird kind of apology video from Abdul. Like, he got interviewed at a post practice, if you want to call it, like podium. And they asked him obviously about the tense moments with Jackson, and everyone's saying, "Hey, we're teammates. Football brings you." Jameis even chimed in where it's like, "Hey, we don't all have to agree at once and things like that, but we're all brothers." And which I think is true to a certain extent. It just feels really weird and really forced right now. And I think it's just because of the tense, state of what that was and calling it out on such a national, on a media outlet at the end of the day. But, it's just one of those things that it's an interesting dynamic to go into the season. You never want to start off with an interesting dynamic like this, like an off.
Yeah, they're 2 grown men though. At the end of the day, they're getting paid to play football, one of the greatest jobs in the world. So at the end of the day, I think they're gonna let bygones be bygones and go out there and lose games.
Yeah, and according to according to Cam, they don't have to risk anything either. Just smacking it. I love that guy though. I love the way Cam plays football.
Bro, Cam would be an amazing guest on the pod.
Oh yeah.
I think we would vibe tremendously.
I have a helmet right over there, so we can go.
You can go head to head.
We can go head to head for a couple just to get a quick warm up.
To get the CTE going.
Yeah. So those are just crazy things that just happened literally today. Like, obviously the Giants is a build-up, but the signees all happened today. I am also a little nervous about Malik Neighbors just starting the year on the PUP list at that point, where he has to miss extended amount 4 to 6 weeks at that point if he's on one of those lists. So just keep an eye out. Obviously, for your fantasy football teams, don't just draft him at that point with your number one.
So you're telling me not to draft Malik Neighbors for my number 1 pick?
I would be very cautious, especially after seeing that video. I gotta show you that video. If we can play it, but it's one of those things that
I will draft him number 1 on my fantasy.
Well, enjoy that.
Watching him running the first, limping the first.
Enjoy that when he plays week 6.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, week 6, that's when the season really starts.
Yeah, when Daniel will be 0-6.
0-6.
But other than that, like I said, it was a packed June 1st. We talked about Spurs today. That Spurs W. We gave our previews for it doesn't sound like you really want the Spurs to win.
Bro, the
I
passion.
think you're a Knicks fan. Just say
No,
it.
no,
I think you
no.
got the
Don't
Knicks
say
winning
that.
this.
Don't say that. Don't say that. If anything, you might be a Bears fan.
Okay. So that is crazy. We're in Chicago Bears, I mean,
Hey, man.
what we can do
You don't
is,
like Caleb Williams?
do you think
Okay. He said, nah.
do you think any team, speaking of the Bears,
Mm-hmm.
missed out
On Myles
on
Garrett?
Myles Garrett?
That's a good question. And to
Give
be
me-
honest,
Give me another team's best fit for Myles Garrett.
the
'Cause
Raiders. The Raiders. 100%. Like, unbiased, obviously.
I just think you can't afford him at that point.
We can afford anything, brother.
No.
We're Vegas.
Yeah. I just
We can make the money work. Let's be
salary
honest.
cap, I don't think you can afford
The-
him because
but-
Max and all the free agents you just signed and Fernando, I understand. But at that point, I think you can afford a wide receiver, not the highest paid defensive end in the league.
Yeah, you're right.
If you already have a defensive end that's making what he's
Well, imagine
making.
those two together.
That would be disgusting.
That would be insane.
Yeah, but also
And it'll be amazing for.
Crosby's knee is no good.
Oh my god!
According
Now we're
to-
just now according to
I'm just saying, according to physicals, it's no good.
according to physicals.
Hey,
Had the GM looking at him all crazy, talking about. I don't know if we could continue with you,
I don't
sir.
know about 2 firsts
Yeah.
for that knee.
You should go off that jet.
Hey.
How about you walk back into that jet? Make a U-turn back to Vegas.
Make it economy.
Make
But-
an economy.
But also, I'm
Another
very
team
happy with my
Myles
draft.
Garrett. Money aside, I think obviously the Raiders would be a good fit. Another team with Myles Garrett. There has to be another one on the top of your mind.
Chicago. I think
Yeah.
Chicago's defense just.
Yeah.
I would have traded 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett if I was Chicago. Now that you see that Caleb is going to be whatever Caleb is going to be with
How many
Ben
years
Johnson.
does Myles
Stop
Garrett
it,
go
bro.
on?
You see Myles Garrett? That
How many
brother,
years?
that guy
How
is
many
going to
years?
be.
Give me a number.
If he gives me 5 years,
Five?
3 first-round picks are worth it.
5.
5 dominant years. Where I'm talking 12+ sacks.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not gonna disagree with you.
If I would have said 4, then we're arguing.
then I
Then
would've
it's
been
like,
like,
no. I'll give you 2.
3. I'm gonna cut it to 1.5. I might get you Taco Bell after. Be like, take this. I like that though. I would like to see him in Chicago. That would have been sick. What about Cowboys?
I think if they were gonna make that trade, it would have been at the draft because they had 2 firsts to give up. I just think they don't have enough.
They don't have enough anything.
They have
bro.
enough to give, but it's like, will Jerry? I don't think Jerry's
Jerry
not.
Jones don't want to do nothing, bro.
Yeah, but him, they just got Quinn Williams in that trade.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So that would be a really nice D-line for the run, stopping the run, because Myles does do that too.
What about the Ravens?
Imagine if the Ravens, Trey Henderson,
Oh, the Bills.
the Bills I think missed out on that as well.
The Bills would have been fun.
Yeah. There's
What about Cincinnati?
Cincinnati also? It's just like it's hard for the Ravens and Cincinnati to go ahead and give a bid because the Browns, God, but it is the Browns. At the end of the day, guys, we maybe could have made it work, but like Cleveland just wouldn't. I don't think trades.
Yeah,
I don't think
know.
trades with
I
either one of
know,
us.
I know.
And there's no way. And they did send him at least to the NFC. I'm just
Yeah.
happy he's out of the division.
Of course. But obviously seeing him in those positions I think would have been cool.
Yeah,
Maybe not the Ravens one, but Cincinnati for sure.
dude. Him, Trey Henderson, Mike Green. You got
And getting
Meeks, big boy Meeks coming back.
kicked out the first round.
Nah, we'd go 17. We'd be the first team to go 17. No,
Oh wow.
we'd go straight to the Super Bowl. We skipped the playoffs just for Lamar.
Have you done that with Lamar?
To skip the playoffs?
No,
Yeah,
no,
we
no.
skipped
Have
the
you
playoffs.
have you have you ever been to the finals with Lamar?
No. To the finals? The
Yeah,
NBA
yeah.
finals? Yeah, I'm sure Lamar. I'm sure Lamar will get
Some
back.
Lamar out there went to the
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean,
I'll tell you. This
I'm
team is gonna be
excited.
nasty.
I'm excited for the
This team
Miles
is gonna be
Garrett
nasty.
team. I'm
The
over
Rams,
the moon.
the
for
Rams
it.
definitely got better.
But even after Stafford's gone, I want to see what ends up happening with that quarterback position
Ty
and
Simpson.
how they keep that going.
Ty Simpson.
I mean, how good is I haven't seen Ty Simpson at all. Is he
mean,
good?
It was everyone felt like it was a reach, but hey, Sean McVay, if he can make it work, it's gonna be Sean McVay.
So he's that dog. I'm taking your word for it right now.
No, I wouldn't say that right now.
All right, then
I
why
wouldn't say-
we saying he the future then?
Well, because you got drafted with a number 13
We
pick.
can figure something else.
All right.
All right. I'm just saying.
13 pick is
I'm
crazy.
excited though. I just want to know. I don't want the Rams to win, obviously, but I would like Matthew Stafford to go home with a chip and his career right there and be one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen.
Yeah. Is Matthew Stafford top 10?
Oh,
If
definitely.
he wins it,
If he wins, bro, that
Name your top 10 right now.
Oh, I have to think longer, bro.
Is he better than
Wait.
Aaron Rodgers all time? If he wins another one?
It's these last years of Aaron Rodgers are really affecting him. I'm not gonna lie. And this
Four
goes on the
four
this
MVPs.
goes. I know.
The most MVPs.
These last years though are really affecting him, bro.
That's
No,
insane.
he's not better than Aaron Rodgers though.
I think
not.
top 10 is hard. I give him top 15.
Top 10 is hard.
I think top 15.
Are you able to do the top 10?
I think if you're giving A-Rod the edge, then you got to give Brett, right?
So where are you going? Where are you going?
You got Tom.
Obviously.
You got, I'm blanking on the 49ers. It's not Steve, but
That's Steve Young.
Steve Young was his backup. I'm blanking. Why am I blanking on? It's a Niners quarterback. So
I know. Is
you
it
know
with
exactly-
M? With an M?
I'm blanking on it.
No.
That's the coach. I think you're thinking of the coach's name.
Am I? You see, I'm telling you, this is gonna take too long.
No,
You
I'm
can't
just
even
saying.
do
But
it.
you got a Niners
I
quarterback.
think he might be top 10, bro.
You got A-Rod, you got Brett Favre, you got Lamar, you got Patrick Mahomes.
Definitely Patrick Mahomes.
You're looking at 7 already.
That was 7?
Yeah, you just keep
What? That was 7 already?
unless I'm doing my fingers.
No
wrong.
Drew
What
Brees up in there?
I think Drew Brees. I mean, he has a chip and he's 5,000 yards, just no
Yeah.
MVP though. But 2
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah.
I think if
Drew Brees has to be in there,
Drew
bro.
Brees is top 10.
Damn.
But we still only got. There's other. I don't know if Big Ben scratches the top 10.
I'm not getting into Big Ben.
I think I'd take Matthew Stafford over Big Ben.
100%.
If he wins another one for sure.
If? Not even right off the bat like that, you're not taking him over?
Yeah, I personally take Matthew Stafford.
Obviously,
know,
it's
like,
biased.
Big
I
Ben-
mean, not biased, but.
No, but Big Ben is like one of those guys that people consider.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's just like one
But
of
when
those
I
guys.
just put them side to side, I'm like, I'm taking Stafford.
Yeah, I take
I'm
Stafford
going to
too.
Stafford. But, I mean, no diss to Big Ben, obviously.
All this to Big Ben.
Well, yeah, you have bias, but I'm unbiased. Except for,
It's like people like old heads like Terry Bradshaw.
I'm cool. Stick
Like,
to the commentating,
okay,
brother.
You got
Just stick to the analyzing. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, was that 8
and then,
already?
like I said, are you giving Steve Young? Are you giving like all these other
I'll give them their respect.
like are you doing Phillip? Are you doing
No, not Phillip, brother. Come on. We got to do a little better than that. Were you going to say Joe Flacco next?
Peyton Manning? Are you going
No,
like, okay, you gotta do
100%.
Peyton?
Yeah, 100%.
You can't do Eli.
Why not?
You got Russell.
Why not? Eli's the GOAT killer.
You can't do Eli.
No?
No, you can't do Eli's not better than Matthew Stafford.
Has Matthew Stafford killed a GOAT before?
Oh wow. That's a ridiculous take.
Has he?
Eli Manning over Matthew Stafford?
Has Matthew Stafford killed a GOAT before? Not once.
Who the Rams play?
I don't think they ever killed a
I
GOAT.
mean, he beat Joe Burrow.
No, but
beat
baby
a
goat,
healthy-
baby goat,
he
a
beat
healthy
a-
Joe
he beat a
Burrow
healthy Joe
might
Burrow.
be like top 3 of all time. No, but 100%.
He's so rare though.
So
So rare.
No, Eli's not over Matthew Stafford, to be honest with you.
Joe Montana. That's his name.
It was with an M, you see?
Yeah, it's Joe Montana. I
I
can't
had
believe
it.
that pisses me off.
It's okay. People
Yeah.
will hate you either way.
No, who else? But that's like those are the main ones that it's like you think of. But that's good. Like you think
Was
Matthew
that 11
Stafford.
then?
No, I'm just saying like you think
11,
Matthew
12?
Stafford. This is just off the top of my head. Like if we did a segment just on top.
We
10
should.
quarterbacks,
Next week, I
we'll
think
do a
we
list.
should.
Yeah,
I think
we can
next
start
week we
off
should.
with like something like that in terms of
That'd be
football.
cool.
And then
Because next week we can do the preview of NBA.
yeah, I mean
Because by that time we'll have game 1
or recap
game 2.
game one. Recap game one. Do the preview. We'll give you guys our preview into game 2.
Yeah, we'll see. Keep
And
football
then,
alive.
like I said, we'll
'cause
keep
Kevin
that.
loves it.
I really do love the football, guys.
Kevin loves football.
Baseball, if it gets really interesting, we'll see something. But it's just longer
talk
seasons.
about it
I'm
when-
so excited for football season to start. But, that's another good episode. Nice to see you again, brother.
Of the Spill It Brodie podcast.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.